Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
And good evening. A deeply disturbing case just got worse. Today we learned the West Side mother, accused of killing and burying her son in her backyard, may have been selling off his food stamps.
We go live to Andrew Horansky tonight, and some of these details are just hard to hear, Drew.
They sure are. Prosecutors here revealed that Larissa Rodriguez may have been up to a scheme when her son died with a caseworker who was supposed to be helping her children, who instead was profiting from them. They didn't mince words, first describing Larissa Rodriguez's home.
The home was infested with bed bugs and cockroaches, and it was a very disgusting, unlivable situation.
Then calling her so-called caseworker despicable.
Obviously, the system put in place was taken advantage of, and those who were supposed to benefit from the system, those children, wound up at a short end here.
Last month, a tip from Larissa's boyfriend's brother led to the discovery of her developmentally disabled son buried in her backyard. Until then, the mother of 9 living in Cleveland's Detroit Shoreway neighborhood had allegedly lied, saying he was with relatives. His corpse showed signs of abuse, and Larissa was charged. Today, her boyfriend Christopher Rodriguez was too, and so was Nancy Caraballo, a caseworker who allegedly bought more than $10,000 of the family's food charities in a program called Bright Beginnings, funded by the county and state. Prosecutors say if she'd been doing her job
and went into the home as a mandatory reporter, she would have been obligated to report these gross abuses that she was committing upon these children. If in fact we can tie this deprivation in food to this child, if we can tie that to his homicide in this particular case, we'll be looking at further charges.
Today, Catholic Charities confirmed that Caraballo was terminated over the allegations of food stamp trafficking, a job that required visits up to twice per month, averaging 60 minutes each, adding, "We are shocked and disappointed that this former employee violated our policies." If convicted, she could face up to 50 years in prison. Again, prosecutors here giving the sense that had she been keeping a closer eye on this family, perhaps she could have noticed something that might have saved that little boy.
And Andrew, did prosecutors say whether Caraballo might have been collecting food stamps from other families she was serving too?
That question was asked today, Sarah, and they didn't go there specifically, only saying that they are looking into that possibility, but not saying whether that actually happened or not. One thing that did come up, though, was that she was apparently taking money from this family as far back as 2015, perhaps sooner, saying that, of course, she's being charged for taking about $10,000 in food stamps, but suggesting that number could be even higher.
Wow. Andrew Horansky in downtown. Thank you.
Child Services caught taking bribes to look the other way as mom tortured 5-year-old boy to death. A social worker is facing felony charges after she was caught taking bribes to stay silent from a mother who tortured her 5-year-old son to death and then buried his body in the backyard. By Rachel Blevins, February 3, 2018. Cleveland, OH, in the same country where children can be taken from their homes if their parents are found possessing illegal plants, one woman who was being paid by the state to keep children safe, accepted bribes from a mother, and did nothing to interfere while she tortured her 5-year-old son to death. Cleveland police received a call from Pakistan in December, in which a man claimed his brother helped bury a young boy's dead body in the backyard of a residential neighborhood. When investigators located the yard, they began digging and recovered the body of a boy who they believe died in September, according to report from Cleveland.com. The boy's body showed multiple signs of abuse, including broken ribs, and his mother, Larissa Rodriguez, 34, was arrested and charged with murder, felonious assault, gross abuse of a corpse and child endangerment. While it is not clear what investigators believe happened to cause the boy's death, his mother's boyfriend, Christopher Rodriguez, was also charged with murder. Advertisement. But there is another side to the tragic story that calls the legitimacy of social services into question. Nancy Caraballo, 45, a social worker with Catholic Charities, which is a division of the county's Education Services Department funded by Cuyahoga County and the state of Ohio, was assigned to the Rodriguez family. Investigators are now revealing that while Caraballo visited the family's home regularly, She did not report that Jordan Rodriguez, who was developmentally disabled, had gone missing for months because she was being bribed by Larissa Rodriguez. WKYC News reported that Caraballo bought more than $10,000 of their food stamps, paying 50 cents on the dollar. In addition to purchasing the food stamps that were supposed to buy food for the 5-year-old boy who was buried in the family's backyard, Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Mike O'Malley said Caraballo was also abusing her power by failing to report that Larissa Rodriguez's 9 children were living in a home infested with roaches, rats, and bedbugs. The home was infested with bedbugs and cockroaches, and it was a very disgusting, unlivable situation, O'Malley said. As a mandatory reporter, she Caraballo would have been obligated to report these gross abuses that she Rodriguez was committing upon these children. Investigators claim the abuse has been ongoing since 2015, and they believe Caraballo falsified at least 11 monthly reports regarding the conditions of the home. While they cannot confirm whether Caraballo knew about the death of Jordan Rodriguez, O'Malley said that she could face additional charges if the county's medical examiner's office determines that malnourishment played a role in the boy's death. If in fact, we can tie this deprivation of food to this child, if we can tie that to his homicide, O'Malley said. Nancy Caraballo faces up to 50 years in prison for food stamp trafficking if no other charges are added. Larissa Rodriguez faces up to life in prison for the murder of Jordan Rodriguez, and a number of other charges that contributed to his death and the attempt to hide his body. Cleveland.com reported that the county has opened 13 abuse or neglect investigations into Rodriguez since 1999, and social workers who have visited the home in the past have reported deplorable and unsanitary conditions, and even claimed that they witnessed one child eating a cockroach-filled sandwich when they arrived at the house. In this case, it is clear that the same social worker who was paid by the state to report the inhumane conditions several children were being subjected to, had the power to save the life of Jordan Rodriguez. If only she had chosen to act in the interest of the innocent children who were being abused, instead of staying silent because she was getting half-priced food stamps. Become a patron.
County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County COPWATCH with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit, I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, you know, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now, you know, $1 a day, I mean $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head, help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.